In today's video, we're going to look at a sector that I believe is about to go crazy tomorrow and why you should keep it in your watch list. We're also going to look at the overall market to get you guys ready as always. Alright, y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the NASDAQ over here, and right now it's moving in a very choppy fashion. The circle that I've drawn, I believe on Monday night, is still there. I haven't touched it. It was moving so sus today, and the fact that it even that it's up right now, the fact that the futures is up right now was a bit surprising at first, because I wasn't expecting NVDA to put out positive, to have a positive reaction through earnings. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it would be like an IV crush where we wouldn't go nowhere. But surprisingly, NVIDIA is up and the NASDAQ is up. And this one is still edging closer towards 19,000. Okay, I think it's going to get there. We're only 140 points away from that. We might hit that tomorrow. I think we might hit that tomorrow, but probably like 10 a.m., maybe even noon, before we see some type of turbulence. Okay, now let's discuss the other indices. Let's look at the Dow Jones. And with the Dow Jones, this one really isn't doing too much. Again, the reaction from earnings from NVIDIA really affected the SPY and the NASDAQ, not the Dow Jones. This one, I don't think it's gonna move that much. It over exceeded expectations after this breakout. It got to 400, all right, and it's been chopping, giving us small dojis at the top. Not a great sign. If this one doesn't move, we might see a pullback on here. We might see it drop all the way down to 393 for the Dow Jones. Just keep that in mind, especially when that turbulence hit with the markets in general. Now, the stock or the sector, I would say, that is about to go crazy tomorrow, obviously, is the semi stocks. We're gonna look at NVIDIA, but I'm going to share with y'all another stock that I think has a bigger potential. So NVIDIA first. Now with NVIDIA, this is how it's looking at after hours. Positive reaction through earnings. They crushed on their sales and their EPS, I believe. Let's see here. They definitely did. Okay. And they also announced a 10-to-1 stock split. Typically what happens when a stock announces a 10-to-1 stock split, there tend to be a slow grind upward. Typically, all the way until like 2 days before the stock split or a day after the stock split, where the event happens and we see a pullback, whether it is a major pullback or a small pullback. Again, it varies, but what I've seen in the past is initially an uptrend, all right, which is why y'all should keep this one in your watch list. All right, so with this reaction, we gotta look at Marvel, and I want to direct your attention to Marvel because number one, it has an ascending triangle on the chart. This one broke out last week, I believe Thursday, all right, and it's been playing games between 72 and 74. That positive reaction from NVIDIA was what this stock actually needed in order to continue to towards this alert right there. Again, so with the semis, the stock that I really want to put on your radar is this one specifically, Marvel. The contracts are good. They're not ridiculously high. The IV is also good on the stock. So for tomorrow, just watch the first 5 minute. The first 5 minute candle is what you should be paying attention to. Something like this that breaks above 76, and we see a nice continuation up to 79. That might take about 30 minutes, maybe even an hour to actually get there. So definitely keep this one on your radar. The contracts are going to be nice, and the ROI would, for a move like this on a Thursday, we could see 150% or maybe 200% on the contracts. All right, so watch Marvel closely and see what it does. Now, I mentioned turbulence. I definitely did. All right, and when turbulence hits, what I will be looking at would be Square. I will be looking at Square because of this. There is a structure on there. Again, one for the bulls since the semis are bullish and the futures are up, all right? And this one will be for the bears. All right, because the market is giving us small dojis at the top. And trading at all-time highs can be really dangerous. And you have to always be prepared for that nasty drop that may happen at really any point in the middle of the day, all right? Like kind of like what we've seen today. If we look at QQQ, we're gonna see, like, this is what I'm talking about. These types of random drops, that's what I mean. So going back on here to, what was I looking at? Square. There you go. Going back to Square. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, there is a bearish pennant right there that broke down right here. All right, so if we see a push up with the market at first just to bring up the semiconductor stocks, this one may go up to 68.80, and then when turbulence hits, we could see it reverse in the middle of the day and break below today's low, break below 67, and we might see a continuation down to 64, maybe even $63 by Friday. The structure is there. It hasn't given us a reason to believe that this is fake. So just be on the lookout for that type of movement with Square. Now let's talk about you guys' your stocks of interest. Y'all asked a lot of questions in the comment section of the last video. Somebody asked about ZS. And with ZS, this one earnings is approaching. It's been crushed for quite some time. There are some gaps to fill below. There's 2 of them actually, which are a bit worrisome. There's only one gap to fill at the top, the one right at 230, 226 and 240, and then the bottom 2, this one already got taken care of right here. So there's only one, the one at 90 to 101. All right, so there's 2 gaps. Which way is it going to go? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. It really depends on, like, some clues that you can look at is the way the indices move in general, but that's not always helpful. So again, like I always say, holding anything through earnings is 150% gambling. It is gambling. That reaction is gambling. I don't see any structures on here at all. Like, I have no clue where this thing is going to go. So patiently wait for the reaction to happen. And then if there's a setup pre-market, for example, that happens with it, I may even make another video about it. Depending on how it moves during that day on the 30th. All right, but for now I would just say be patient. The next one that somebody asked me to look at was the Chinese stocks. So I'm gonna look at JD, and with JD, after bullish moves with the Chinese stock, it's important to not be greedy and to take your money off the table. I shared with you guys the Chinese stock that I shared with you for a long was Bilibili, and it worked out to perfection. It went not just to 15, but it went above and beyond to $16. Gave everybody sweet time to get out. All right, these pullbacks right here are not surprising. They do happen with the Chinese stocks after they make a massive move. This move lasted for quite some time. So what happens next is movements like this, very slow, annoying movements. I'm not sure exactly how low it's gonna pull back. I just know that the next level of support is back down to $28.80. So watch for intraday entries, watch for intraday structures. That gap right here is going to get filled at some point. It's going to. But overall, the bears are in control. And the same thing applies for Baidu. Right? Baidu also had a massive move. Earnings happens. The stock didn't do too well at all. And now it's retracing back towards the levels of support at 97 bucks. Okay? So that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks. And that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button as always, and make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell. That way you get notified when I release these videos. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, we can get all of this information in real time as I see them. You can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul and Guma, at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.